In the middle of a deadly Detroit blizzard, 72-year-old Evelyn Carter was stranded in her small wooden house on the edge of town. The wind howled like an angry beast outside, rattling her windows as the snow piled high against the door. The power had gone out hours ago, and the only warmth came from the flickering glow of her old wood stove. She wrapped herself in a quilt, whispering a prayer that the storm would pass. Just then, through the white blur outside, headlights appeared, faint, swerving, and then gone. She heard a crash. Evelyn pulled on her boots and heavy coat, clutching her flashlight. Most folks would have stayed inside that night, but not Evelyn. When she trudged through the snow, she found them, 9 men, leather jackets emblazoned with skulls and wings, stranded beside a toppled van. The words "Hell's Angels" flashed on their backs. They were freezing, their bikes buried in snow, one man bleeding from a cut above his eye. "Ma'am, we'll handle it," one of them said, trying to sound tough through chattering teeth. Evelyn squinted at them, her flashlight steady. "Handle it? Boy, you can barely stand up. Y'all comin' with me now?" They hesitated, exchanging glances, but something in her voice, firm, motherly, no nonsense, cut through the storm. They followed her back to the little wooden house. Inside, she threw logs into the stove and handed them towels. "Sit down before you fall down," she said. Then she got to cooking cornbread, soup, and strong coffee. The smell filled the room, and for a while, the roaring wind outside felt far away. The men thawed slowly, their tattoos glistening with melting snow. They told her they were on their way to a charity ride in Chicago when the storm hit. She just nodded, ladling soup into their bowls. "Don't care who you are," she said. "Cold don't pick favorites." Hours passed. Laughter replaced the storm's howl. One biker, Big Mike, looked around her small living room, filled with photos of children and soldiers. "These your kids?" he asked. Evelyn's eyes softened. "Used to be. Lost 2 in the army, 1 to cancer. Ain't got nobody left but the Lord and this old house." The room went quiet. Even the fire seemed to hush. Then, the biggest of them, a man with a scar across his cheek, stood up and said, "You got us now, Grandma." Evelyn chuckled, waving her hand. "Don't you start with that now." But they meant it. When the storm cleared the next morning, they dug her car out, fixed her broken gate, and restocked her firewood. Before leaving, they wrote their numbers on her fridge. "If anyone ever gives you trouble, you call us," said Big Mike. "We ride for you now." Weeks later, word got around. Someone tried to break into Evelyn's shed one night. By morning, 9 roaring motorcycles surrounded her yard, headlights cutting through the dark. The intruders vanished like ghosts. From that day on, the Hells Angels made regular stops by her home, fixing her porch, bringing groceries, even celebrating her birthdays. The town called her the Grandma of the Angels. Years later, when Evelyn passed away peacefully in her sleep, 9 bikers in leather stood in the front row of her funeral, heads bowed, sunglasses hiding tears. On her coffin, they placed a single black leather jacket with the words, "Protected for life." And though the snow fell heavy that day, the churchyard was warm, with engines rumbling softly, like thunder promising to guard her memory forever.